Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Haley and I am a current Peace Corps volunteer serving in the health sector in Cameroon 2018 to 2020. This video was actually requested by Megan, who is coming in like a month. So that's really exciting. But she requested a video talking about kind of what you do your first week in country before you go to training, which that's actually a really good idea, so I decided to do it. This one will obviously be specific for Cameroon because I don't know what other countries do. I'm sure there is similar stuff that we do, but not everything. Okay, so you get in country like 7 at night, maybe 6, 7 at night. And then from the airport to the hotel, it's like an hour-long bus ride. So you're not getting in until super late, basically. And then you'll get to the hotel, you'll get like who your roommate's gonna be, you'll bring your stuff upstairs, you'll have dinner, you'll go to bed. They'll tell you what time to get up the next day. There will be volunteers there. There will be 2 volunteers there. There'll be 2 volunteers there, and if you're coming in with a health and agriculture stage, like the one coming up, one will be a health volunteer, one will be an ag volunteer, and there will be 1 male, 1 female. And then if it's just an ed stage that's coming in, they're just education volunteers, but there will be 1 male, 1 female. So they're there to kind of help you in the beginning and talk to you, and they have like their own meetings sometimes after dinner, and they separate you guys out by gender, and they like tell you things you're gonna experience, you know. I'll get into that. Anyways, so I don't obviously remember the exact order of things, but you've got basically 2 full days in Yaoundé before you go to your training place. So sorry, I'm tired. Okay, I remember though the first day was really busy. I remember a lot of things we did do the first day. You had to get your picture taken for your like Peace Corps ID card. You had to fill out a lot of paperwork. We did a bunch of our banking paperwork, and we had the bank people there. We got phones, we got SIM cards. I still use my iPhone, although I do have my Cameroonian phone, and my Cameroonian SIM card is actually in my iPhone because my phone's unlocked. And so then they set up the banking in here in Cameroon. Everything's basically mobile, so you have access to both. You have 2 things. You have your bank account and you have your Momo account, so mobile money, which is how, like, your Momo account is how you pay for like minutes on your phone or data or any texting plan that you want or anything like that. And it's also how you pull cash out, because here it's not really credit cards. They have banks, like I said, and you can use credit cards at banks to get ATM, like to get cash out. Like you can use your American credit cards there, or also you can get a Cameroonian credit card here linked up to your Cameroonian bank account. I didn't do that. I just used Momo. And then your bank account is on here too, so you can look at how much money you have, and you can send money somewhere or pull money to your bank account or whatever. So everything's on the phone, but also everything's cash, you know. You can send someone else money through your Momo account, or you can pull out your cash through your Momo account at a different, like, they have different places that you can do like transactions just through your phone, and then they have different places that you can pull actual cash out for it. So they set up all of that and all of that information to make sure that your bank account is working, it's linked, it has the right amount of money in it in the beginning. What else do we do? You meet with medical. If you have any extra forms to give them, you give them that then. They'll go through the shots that you have to see if there's anything you need to get, which I'm sure is similar through all Peace Corps countries. That like that first week you'll meet with medical. And then if you do have shots you need to get, you'll get shots then. Then we have like kind of like an orientation thing, so we meet a bunch of for us, Peter, who's our head of security. We meet Danielle, who's our country director. We meet a bunch of different people. So like Charles, who are like the sexual assault like liaison type people, or anything along that lines. We meet a bunch of people basically. That same day, like that first day, you also have your LPI, which is basically your language placement. So you'll sit down and you'll attempt to have a conversation with someone. Like I said, I don't know how it is for all Peace Corps countries, but because in Cameroon you're supposed to come in knowing some French, that like is a requirement, but it's also not really, to be honest. There's a lot of people came in who's never like learned any French at all or taken any French class, just because we really need volunteers in Cameroon. But for us, I don't know how that is in countries where there isn't a language requirement, so I don't know if you have LPIs or not, like your first LPI that first week, but we do. So you sit down, you attempt to have a conversation in French, and then they'll afterwards decide where you go. So like me, I was placed in novice low, which I knew I would be. That's the first of a total of 3 LPIs, possibly 4 depending on if you have to learn another language or not. But yeah, it's the first of 3 LPIs. So you have that. You also have a meeting with your program manager and like your assistant program manager, basically. They'll kind of talk to you. They have like you had a little questionnaire that you fill out, and then they'll talk to you about, you know, what kind of site do you want, what are things that are important to you, like how close do you want to be to people, is there something that you specifically need, do you care about being more isolated. They ask you a bunch of different questions because they want to try to fit you to the best post for you, and it also gives them a chance to start getting to know you and getting the type of person you are, so they can look at that to match you also to the best post and the best like counterpart. So like for me, I asked my program manager Sylvie after we got our post or whatever why she placed me, just because I had talked to a second-year volunteer who was almost second-year volunteer at that point. He was who I visited from my site visit, and he suggested asking her like her reasoning why, because I can be interested. And she was like, well, first I looked at you and noticed that you're a very quiet person, so you were automatically going to be placed in like the region that I'm in, the Adamawa. She was like, because that's where I tend to place the more quiet people. And then she looked like, by watching me throughout like training and like talking to different faculty or whatever, she gets a feel for the person. And then she's like, and then I decided you were going to be placed in your village because your counterpart is also similar to you and he's more quiet and stuff like that or whatever. So I know my program manager, at least, she really tries to match up your personality best with what village will work best for you, basically, which is really nice, and I'm very happy with my placement. And then you have like I said, the orientation, when you meet a bunch of people. You get like your med kits. You meet everyone from like the Peace Corps medical office. So here in Cameroon we have 2 doctors and a nurse, and then like the secretary type person who like is Georgette, and you go to her for anything with medical, like when you're doing a refill or when you have any like questions, but like you go to her. She's awesome. So then yeah. And then I can't remember if it was that day or the next day that you actually have a dinner at Danielle. Like I said, Danielle's RCD, our country director. We have a dinner at her house, and there we actually meet the ambassador. He comes, which was pretty cool. And it actually turned out for us, the ambassador, like on our flight from Brussels to Cameroon, the ambassador was actually on that flight, which was pretty cool. He told us about it after, that he didn't know that we were on the same flight. But yeah, he's really nice. So we meet the ambassador. I don't know if they do that in every country. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. And then that second day, we went to like an art museum, kind of like an art museum, like it is art museum, history museum, just a museum. it was super interesting. We got to learn a lot more about like Cameroon culture and stuff like that. There was different like musical instruments that have been played throughout it. We got to see the different housing types depending on different regions and all that stuff. It was really interesting. And then we had like more mini orientation type stuff. We went to the Peace Corps office so we know where it was, and while we were there we got more shots. So that was lovely. And like I said, I don't know if it was that night or a different night or the night before that we had like the CD dinner. I can't remember, but we did do the dinner. We also, that week, I think the first day, we Peace Corps brought someone in that, like from the bank or whatever, that like if you brought American money with you, you met with them, wrote down your name, wrote down the amount you had, put it in an envelope, and then he actually changed all the money over to save it for us, and he brought it back to us so we could have that, which was really nice. We also, at this point, I don't remember which day it was again, but we did get a map of like our training village so we could see where all the different houses were and all that, and then we got like the family name and some information. So I got my papa's name, I got the information that I had 2 moms, and the amount of kids and stuff like that, so it was super interesting. And then the last day we actually traveled to our homestay, and like it was like a 6 to 8 hour long bus ride, but during this time I also talked to the like homestay coordinator to ask her more about my family, so you could do that too. But it's a really short 2 days before you head to village, and it's a bunch of paperwork trying to get like a bunch of stuff done in that short 2 days, but it's definitely interesting. I think one important thing to know though is you can't leave the hotel. You're kind of locked there, although for us, our hotel, we didn't have much room in general, but I know for this past education starters, they actually changed the hotel, and they might be sticking with that hotel, and if they do, I definitely hope they do, because I've been to that hotel for training before, and it's a really nice hotel, and you definitely have a lot more room outside that you can like at the hotel, like behind it or whatever, than we did at the other hotel. So you can at least sit outside or whatever, but you can't actually leave and go out into the city. However, like I said, there will be volunteers there, so if you need something, you can talk to them and they could go out and get it for you. I think they did that for a few people, like someone was asking for like an extension cord type thing, or whatever. So I think they did that for a few people, went out, and if you give them the money, the SEPA, they'll go out and get stuff, because the greeters can leave, but you guys can't, which definitely was difficult, but also wasn't. Like, I wish I had seen the city more, but based off of where we were, there wasn't much to see. But yeah, it's a very full first week, and you're kind of starting to try to get to know the people in your group, get to kind of get a feel of what it's gonna be like, and then, like I said, you go to your homestay, you get there, you get to village, you're introduced to your homestay family, and then you're off on your own with them for the weekend, which can be really stressful. It was really stressful for me, but yeah, like I said, I don't know how similar it is to other Peace Corps countries. I'm sure you guys are doing a bunch of paperwork. I'm sure you're setting up bank accounts or whatever, doing orientation, meeting important people in your Peace Corps staff. I just don't know, like, if you guys do museums, if you guys do other stuff or what, but I'm sure it's kind of similar. But that's how it is for Cameroon. And then you will hopefully not be back to the capital until after you sworn in. And I say hopefully because the only time you would be brought back is if you're getting administratively separated, or if you have like a medical issue and they will bring you back. There were a lot of people who, while we were training, ended up having to go to the capital for medical stuff. Hopefully it doesn't happen to you if you're watching this and you're coming to Cameroon. But yeah, and then you won't be back, and then when you do get back, it's typically after training, and you have free run of the city. Well, you don't have free run of the city. There's a lot of places you can't go to still, and there's like times when you, like, if you're gonna be out, you like have to travel by taxi in certain areas, or you can't go to certain areas after a certain time or whatever. But during the day you like have free, you get to see the city, and it's really nice. But yeah, so that's basically your first week in country, and like I said, it's specific for Cameroon, but you can probably, I mean, it's probably similar to other Peace Corps countries as well. If you have any other questions like about the first week or anything like that, if there's any type of videos you want to see, any suggestions you have, leave it in the comments below. I'll try to either reply if you have a question, or if it's a video you want to see, I'll try to make it if I can. Megan, I hope this video was good enough. And congrats on joining the Peace Corps fam, and we'll see you in a couple weeks, which is really exciting. Well, not a couple weeks, but like a month. But still, it's really exciting. It's stressful right now. I'm sure it's a stressful time. Thank you guys for watching. You can like, subscribe if you want, your choice. I don't care. I mean, it would be nice. I would like it, but it's your choice. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.